This video will walk a user through the steps needed to create a new Superbill for use in their database, convert an existing Superbill from ICD-9 to ICD-10, and the process of assigning the new Superbill. While logged into OfficeEMR, go to the navigation pane on the left-hand side of the screen and click Setup. Under the Billing Setup section, select Superbill Templates. To create a new Superbill, click New from the toolbar. The Superbill Setup screen now loads. First, give your Superbill a name. If you are a single specialty practice and everyone will use the same Superbill, you can use whatever name you wish. If you have a multi-specialty practice, it often works best to have a separate Superbill for each specialty and to name them accordingly. Once you have named the Superbill, mark the Superbill section as active. This will allow it to show up in the Superbill template dropdown from within the EMR. Next, you will add a series of sections on the Superbill. This is where the various groups of procedures and diagnosis codes will be stored. To add a section, click the black plus icon at the bottom of the screen. This will allow the active section fields to become available. Give the section a name, for example, E&M visits or office visits. Next, set your code type. This controls where the codes in the section are displayed on the electronic version of your Superbill in the EMR. CPT and HCPCS codes will appear on the left side of the screen on your finished Superbill, while diagnosis codes will appear on the right side of the finished version. Next, set the format for the codes. Next, set the format for this code section. We recommend using the diagnosis code __ format so that each code has its own line item within the section. You can drag the area anywhere that you would like on the screen. The number of items, the column width, and the font size controls only need to be used if your office prints Superbills from the iScheduler. If your office exclusively uses the electronic Superbill, these items have no effect. To add codes to this section, click the New button in the upper left-hand corner of the Active Section Items area. Click this once for each code that you wish to add. Enter the code in the box at the bottom of the screen. The code will be validated and the associated description will automatically populate. Feel free to change the description as you see fit. Additionally, you can click the binocular icon on the toolbar to perform a code search rather than entering manually. Once you have finished adding the codes for a section, click the Save icon at the top of the screen. By default, codes will be listed in the order that you have added them. However, you can use the alphabetical sort or usage sort options from the toolbar to reorder these lists. Repeat the above process of adding areas and codes until you've completed customizing your Superbill template. Again, save the Superbill and close this window. Now that your Superbill has been created, it can now be assigned. Superbills are assigned to a resource. A resource in iSALUS is anyone or anything that has their own schedule. Each resource can be assigned one default I-9 Superbill and one default I-10 Superbill. The I-9 Superbill will load prior to October 1st, 2015, and the I-10 Superbill will load after October 1st, 2015. To assign, click the Assign icon from the toolbar at the top of the screen. When the window loads, there will be two columns, one for I-9 and one for I-10. If the Superbill should be used prior to October 1st for a particular resource, select the resource's name in the left-hand column. If the Superbill should be used after October 1st, select the resource's name in the right-hand column. With the Superbill assigned, you can click the OK button to close this window. This method for creating a Superbill generates a static list of codes. This is usually a good idea if you print out the Superbill. This is also a good idea for your procedure codes that change very rarely. However, for offices that use the electronic Superbill, we have a new way of generating a smart list of diagnosis codes. These smart lists will display diagnosis codes based on how often they are used on claims, ensuring that you are always seeing the most relevant codes based on your past habits. These lists are specific to each user in the practice. To modify these user settings, click Setup, then Users. Select the user that you want to modify. Click the red User Settings icon from the toolbar. Type in the word Superbill in the search box. The 4 settings that govern these smart lists are called Top Superbill Diagnosis Codes, Top Superbill Diagnosis Codes Count, Organized Top Superbill Diagnosis Codes, and lastly, Group Top Superbill Diagnosis Codes. To begin, select the Top Superbill Diagnosis Codes setting. For this user, you will be able to choose Do Not Display, which turns these smart lists off entirely. Top Codes for Provider, which shows codes specific to the provider loaded on the Superbill. And Top Codes for Practice, which shows codes regardless of the provider. Select the best option for this user and click Save. Repeat your Superbill search. Select the Top Superbill Diagnosis Codes Count setting. For this user, you'll be able to enter a number. This number represents how many of the top codes should be returned. Enter the value for this user and click Save. Repeat your Superbill search again. Select the Organized Top Superbill Diagnosis Code setting. For this user, you'll be able to choose ICD-10 chapter, which will group the codes in several sections according to their higher level chapters, for example, endocrine and cardiovascular type diseases, or Together, which will put all of the codes in one section. Once more, select the best option for this user and click Save. Repeat your Superbill search one last time. Select the Group Top Superbill Diagnosis Codes setting. For this user, you'll be able to choose alphabetically, which will sort the codes within the blue bar alphabetically, or by usage, which will sort all of the codes based on how often they are used. Select the best option for this user, click Save. Now that all of your settings have been applied, you are ready to begin using this Superbill for that user.